Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I wasn't gonna make a video, but the world has blessed me with my first major Digimon top, and I wanted to do a little deck profile. So this weekend I played at the PPG qualifiers for Great Legends, and I ran Purple Metalgarurumon. I did really good. I was really surprised. I got 8th in Swiss and 5th in Top Cut. And I'm really surprised what this deck can do. It literally was the only deck I could build for the event, and I'm glad it took me all the way. So, without saying too much more, let's start off with the eggs. So we're going to start off with 4 copies of Millenniummon. Just honestly the best purple egg in the format right now. Having the ability to cycle through your deck is just really good, setting up with your trash and your hand for your combo pieces. And then for my one-off egg, I got a Pagumon from the structure deck. This Pagumon, I don't know if it's the best egg for the deck, but it's really good at setting up your trash, especially if you're bricking early game. This deck has a lot of ways to get stuff from your trash. This is a great way to start that going. Now moving on to my rookies, we have 4 copies of Gabumon. Honestly, one of the most solid rookies in purple. Very similar to Demimera. You draw 2, discard 1, helps set up your hand for your combo turn, and also set up your trash. Now the real MVP of the rookie lineup is Gazimon. So we play 3 copies of Gazimon. And Gazimon was really MVP in this tournament. It helped shut down opponents' hammer sparks, it shuts down Blinding Ray, it shuts down all those horrible security effects that prevent you from winning the game. The amount of times that I won the game because I had a Gazimon in the field when I was swinging for lethal was way too many. Way too many. And then following the Gazimon, I played 2 copies of Candlemon and 1 copy of Devimon. These are just your vanillas. They're really good in memory choking your opponent. I pretty much held this in my hand the whole time until I needed something to push my opponent under 3. Because in this meta right now, it's really important to not let your opponent get to 3, to get into their combo turns that will really make you get outvalued and lose before you can combo off. I also split it between 2 Candlemon and a Devimon to dodge Omnimon, because the amount of Imperial players currently out there, it comes up a few times. Luckily it didn't come up in this tournament, but it does come up sometimes when you double Nailbone and you want to get a Candlemon and a Devi instead of 2 Candlemons to dodge Omnimon. After that, we played 2 copies of Dracmon. This is really nice. It lets you recycle pretty much all your option cards. Usually you bring it back with Anubismon, and it really sets up your Metalgarurumon turns. The last rookie we played is 1 copy of Tappermon. It's a pretty solid, rookie. You don't really want to play it more than 1, maybe 2, because its job is really just to be an Anubismon or a Nailbone target that lets you draw further if you're not going to win in the next few turns and you just need more pieces to combo again. And that's the rookie lineup. Following the rookies, we have the level 4s. I'm playing 4 copies of Meramon, just a solid 1-cost Evo target. So it gets you to your Metalgarurumon stack. And then we're playing 2 of the starter deck blockers, the 1-cost Devimons, and 2 of the Vilemons. Now the reason I split my blockers like this is because one of the fatal flaws of Nailbone is that all of its targets tend to be under 5k, which means one of the best ways to out the combo is to play Alter S or Nidhoggmon. By having Vilemon in our trash to be a target for Nailbone instead, we can withstand losing some of the value for the Nailbone turn. And it's come up a few times. I got Nidhogged in a green matchup, and it ended up helping. I didn't end up winning that game, but it helped me stall out for a little bit longer. And after the blockers, I play 3 copies of Retaliation Devimon, which is another great card in the green matchup. Having Retaliation being, on demand with Nailbone, and also giving our stack Retaliation is really good, especially with green control in the meta. They will Flower Cannon and remove your stack. And this is a way to disencourage that, or at least take some value from them while they try to control your board. Next is the level 5s, which is a little weird for my deck. I'm playing 2 copies of Millenniummon and 1 copy of Skullmera. These are vanilla level 5s. The reason I'm playing it in this ratio is because I actually don't have more than 2 copies of Millenniummon. Ideally, you would want to play 3 Millenniummon instead of Skullmera. Even though Skullmera is 1 cheaper to hard play, the extra DP comes a lot, especially in the yellow war gray matchup, where Skullmera can be deleted for just a war gray swing. Millenniummon demands a little bit more. But solid vanilla just helps you keep your memory in check. Really nice to play to Digivolve for 2 costs. After that, we have 2 copies of Skullscatamon, which is not a card you see in a lot of deck profiles. It's from the starter deck. It basically says when Digivolving, you may return 1 purple Digimon card from your trash to your hand. It's just a nice way to return a lot of your combo pieces that might have been checked in security to your hand. In early play testing, I had a problem that I would check Metalgarurumon security a lot. This is just a nice way to add it back to your hand. He came up a few times, but I'd probably cut him to 1. Especially because the real MVP is Lady Devi, which I played at 3. Lady Devi is by far the best level 5 in this deck. It sets up your combos, letting you draw 3 cards when you're Digivolving it, and set up your trash by trashing whatever you need. You can trash at level 4 and that level 3 you need for the Nailbone, and then Digivolve Metalgarurumon, activate Nailbone, get those out, and then pop a rookie with its inheritable effect. The card's just really good. A lot of matchups are just won because Lady Devi drew you into the perfect cards, and then you could control the board against more aggro decks using the inheritable effect. And then the card that makes this deck run, 4 copies of Metalgarurumon. This card is the value engine for the whole deck. It's just a solid card. Digiburst 2, cast any level 7 or lower option, purple option from your hand. Its main target, I'll talk about as soon as Nailbone, but it just generates so much free value, especially when you pair it off with the other level 6 slot. We have 2 copies of Anubismon. Anubismon, when Digivolving, lets you revive any rookie, and gives all things revived from the trash rush. The fact that Metalgarurumon can revive 4 things from the trash if you have the right hand, and Anubismon can give those all rush, really helps you set up these turns that you just win out of nowhere. And finally, for the level 7 slot, we have a single copy of Millenniummon. Ideally, I'd probably run 2 Millenniummon. However, I currently only own 1, which is another reason I was surprised I won this tournament. It's a pretty good card. It lets you deal with a lot of threats the deck isn't really capable with, such as Valderarm, other Millenniummons, Craniummon, but honestly, most of the time you win before Millenniummon becomes relevant. And it could also be tricky in the green matchup, because Bancho Stingmon is being played in a lot of green decks now, and if they Bancho your Millenniummon for any reason, they will just win that game. So I'd be careful with that card. Really good card, really solid. It's hard out in the yellow matchup, but also it could be a crutch in the green matchup. After the Digimon lineup, I'm playing 3 copies of Matt. You just want to see Matt. Matt, it lets you revive a lot of things, add them back to your hand, which is a really solid effect, especially when you're trashing so much. but also it sets you to 3 memory, and 3 memory is what you need to do every combo in the deck. It lets you get into Lady Devi, it lets you get into Metalgarurumon, it lets you get into Anubismon, and still be your turn, so you can do your combos and what you need to do to generate value to win the game. Solid card. I wouldn't play it under 3. I've seen a lot of lists of 2, but really Matt will win you a lot of games by himself. And then finally, the thing that we actually want to generate the value, it's our options. We're going to play 4 copies of Nailbone. Nailbone is the main target for Metalgarurumon, and it revives level 4 and level 3 Digimon from the trash. Does not activate their on-play effects, but just having 2 free bodies is wonderful. It's amazing. Most decks, if you cast Nailbone twice for free using Metalgarurumon's effect, will just scoop. They don't have an out to it. Besides green and black with their amazing board wipes, and even then you can dodge them with Vilemon, they just won't have an answer. It's a really solid card, and it really makes the deck run. And then on top of Nailbone, we also play 2 copies of Trump Sword. Just a nice little card, little form of removal. The deck has a little bit of removal, and it helps. But the main focus is definitely swarming. And Trump Sword has come in handy a lot of times, especially killing stuff like Imperial, Chaos Mons, and other things that the opponent might stand up when they're scared of Devimon. And finally, our last 2 slots go to Necrophobia and Deathclaw. So first thing that's easy to explain is Deathclaw. Deathclaw is just a great 1-class card. It can be used to memory choke. It can be used to get rid of a blocker to finish the game. And when it checks in security, it's wonderful. It removes a rookie, or it removes a blocker, or it just has a lot of potential to remove things. Solid card, and it's also a Dracmon target, so you can loop it with Dracmon to gain a lot of value. And then the last card is Necrophobia. Necrophobia is an interesting option in this deck because it isn't revivable with Dracmon. However, you really only want to use it once, so it's okay. It revives a level 5 purple, and it has to be level 5, not level 5 or level 5. And the main purpose of it is to get a Lady Devi to put Anubismon on top of. If you have a Necrophobia and a Nailbone in your hand while you have a Metalgarurumon combo, you can theoretically get Nailbone, Anubismon for 3 attacks out of nowhere, basically. It's also nice because in addition to Nailbone, its security effect lets you play a Digimon from your trash for free. This one's a level 5, this one's a level 4, so it makes your security a little bit scarier, which is a thing that purple kind of lacks. A lot of times people feel very comfortable hitting my security because I play a lot of 2K rookies. But this is a nice way, and it also has won me a lot of games. There's been a lot of games where I just win because they check a security and I generate another body. But yeah, that was the deck profile. I'm honestly astonished that I topped. This deck is far from optimal. I do think there's a lot of cute little things here that helped a lot, and a lot of things came up in the matchup. But I'm really happy. I hope you'll enjoy the deck profile. I also have some thoughts on how the deck should be changed once I get new cards to replace them. So at the end of this video, I will put a photo of the current deck list and what I would change. And if you guys are interested, I can also do a match analysis and sort of talk about what my matchups were, what helped and what didn't help. Just let me know down in the comment section. And until next time, I hope I can, if you guys follow and like, and I'll try to keep making videos. Well, thank you. Also, look out later this week because I'm going to be making a deck profile for a very interesting PPG deck that I saw that was utilizing Red Omni and the hybrid package. So please subscribe if you are interested in that at all, and thank you.